Hey guys, what is up? This is Cam Jennings, aka Cam Fats, coming at you on behalf of epicconversions.com. And I just want to talk to you guys for a few minutes about ChatGPT. I know it's something that has been on everybody's mind lately. We've all been kind of exploring with ChatGPT and checking it out. I think that like when it comes to business, you know, there's two kinds of things that can happen in business, right? That shift the dynamic of things. One is like evolutionary and one is like revolutionary, right? And with evolution, we're always kind of evolving our businesses from year to year, kind of changing our funnels, evolving what our business looks like and what it is. I know I do that. But with revolutionary stuff, these are things that just kind of like change the whole industry. And I do believe we're in a place with AI these last year and a half or so where we are reaching some revolutionary points where this stuff is going to change the whole industry. And I think things like ChatGPT is one of those things. Make no mistake about it. It is changing. It's changing a lot of stuff, not just internet marketing, but a lot of stuff it's changing. However, what I want to show you guys tonight is a couple things you need to watch out for when you're using things like ChatGPT. Keep an eye out for stuff like this. Let me give you an example, okay? Because a lot of times we feel like this stuff is, you know, pretty close to perfect. It's just amazing, and we put a little too much faith in it. Big Gary in the house. Hey, what's up, Gary? Good to see you, man. We put a little too much faith in it. Okay, so this is a great tool, and I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a great tool, but I want to show you like one particular weakness of ChatGPT. Okay, let me show you the simple version of this weakness because I've been, for the last month or so, I've been really, really going hard in the paint with ChatGPT, trying to understand its limits, trying to understand its capabilities, seeing what it can do for me, how it's going to change, a lot of things in the world that I work in. Um, but anyways, enough of me rambling on. Let me show you what you need to watch out for. Okay, simple math, and the thing is, we think about computers and we think about like artificial intelligence. We look at like computer programs, and when we think about computer programs, that's kind of like calculators. And when we think about calculators, we have a strong faith for calculators and math, right? So it's a quick connection where you would just assume that something like ChatGPT would be really good at math. But I don't want you to make that assumption because this is artificial intelligence. It's not real intelligence, it's artificial intelligence. So never doubt that there's a little bit of emulation going on here. There's a little bit of emulation going on here. It's not that it can't help you, it's not that it doesn't know a lot of stuff. It's just at the end of the day, there is some emulation going on here, and there are some things that it doesn't quite get right. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Um, can you give me 8 numbers that would add up to 100 exactly? Okay, so it's giving me some possibilities and numbers that would add up to 100 exactly. So let's look at the first one. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 14 plus 15 plus 22 plus 30 plus 4. It's 91. That's not 100. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers that add up to 91. It doesn't add up to 100 exactly. So that's not right. Let's look at the second one. 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 2 plus 3. That's 90. It's wrong, right? And when we look at the third option that it gives us, we see that it didn't give us 8 numbers. So it didn't even follow our instructions on the 8 numbers. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 numbers, right? And it's just counted out 1 to 20, right? So let's just, for the sake of posterity, let's just, for the sake of, just being like complete here, let's go ahead and just 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 6, oh, 16 plus, and we see we're already over 100, right? So in all three of these examples, Chat GPT could not follow my instructions. And when I say, hey, are you aware that none of these number combinations add up to 100? And we'll see what it says. And it'll say, I apologize. And it's going to try again. And it's probably going to be wrong again. 10 plus 20 plus 15 plus 25 plus 15 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Oh, and that's the first time ever that I've seen it be right. That's amazing. That's really good. Yeah, I'm really impressed, guys. I've tried this test a number of times with ChatGPT, and it's never gotten it right. But this is that literally you're watching the first time that it's gotten this right. I wonder now. I don't think it can learn from individual conversations with people. It learns from a data set. But I do know they're updating that data set, so maybe they're updating it for more business type math. I don't know. Let's try the second one, guys. I'm going to pull this back around to marketing in a second and explain to you why this is important. 10 plus 20 plus 15 plus 25 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5. And that's 100. That's great, right? 11 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 20 plus 10 plus 7 plus 7. And that also equals 100. That's amazing. That's really great, guys. I have to tell you, the other day I did this many times and I could never get it right. But let me show you. Let me just check comments, make sure no one's saying anything to me. AI is all over the place now. I received a notice last week from GetResponse that I was included in their new beta for AI subject lines. You just put a keyword in the subject line now, and it automatically creates a number of subject lines with matching emojis that supposedly will get higher open rates. That's awesome. That sounds really cool. You'll have to let me know how that goes, man. You have to let me know if you try that and if it works pretty cool. So, anyways, let's move on to something a little bit more marketing related and how this would work. I'm just kind of impressed that it was able to adapt, because the other day it did not adapt. I could never get it to do it right. So it was really. And is this 8 numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I try to talk to it like a person. I know it's not a person, but I try to talk to it like a person. It likes to be called assistant. I don't know why, but it does. So, hey, great job, assistant. You adjusted. Fantastic. I'm spelling assistant wrong now. You adjusted fantastically. Okay, and then what I want to do now is I'm going to pull it back around to marketing. All right. All right. Can you help me with some pricing if I give you some funnel information? And it says, sure, I'd be help you do. I should be happy to help you do pricing for your funnel. Can you please provide me with more information? Okay, so here we go. All right. I have a 7 product funnel, and we will call these products front end, OTO 1, OTO 2, OTO 3, OTO 4, OTO 5, and OTO 6, respectively. can you give me individual prices on each of these products? And I want the total value of this funnel to add up to, let's keep it real, easy. One up to, let's just say $175. Okay, can you get, okay? Let me make sure okay. Um I'd like the prices to progressively increase. Okay? So there's an example of trying to get ChatGPT to help us with funnel pricing. Okay. Now we know we want this all to add up to $175. But we see that that's not what's happened here. Okay, sure. Here's an example pricing structure for your 7 product funnel that adds up to $175. Now let's just see what's going on here, because the AI is like correcting itself down here and it's saying this adds up to $325. Let's see what it really adds up to, because I'm not even sure if it adds up to $325. I'm not sure. I don't trust ChatGPT's math. Okay, it's proven itself to not be so reliable when it comes to like business math and stuff like that. All right, so let's just double check here what we got going on. 7 plus 27 plus 37 plus 47 plus 57 plus 67 plus 75. Okay, so we see this adds up to $317. So here we see that it's telling us it's going to give us a funnel that adds up to 175, and then it's telling us down here that the total value is 325. Well, first of all, this doesn't add up to 175, so that's wrong. And second of all, it doesn't add up to 325 either. It adds up to 317. So it's completely wrong. Now, so make sure you do the math. Okay, now let's see if it can adjust for us, right? Okay, were you aware that this funnel pricing model that you have created actually adds up to 317? That's not the 175 I requested. Let's see if it can correct itself like it did last time. So it's trying again for us. All right. So now it's saying, here we go. So let's see if it was able to adjust, right? So let's see here. I'm excited because it was able to adjust last time. 7 plus 20 plus 25 plus 30 plus 35 plus 40 plus 48. No, that's $205. That's not right either. Okay. So this isn't like an extremely difficult task. It's something that a human could do pretty simply. It's not going to be too difficult for a human. But the thing is, we as humans, we tend to trust machines and computers when it comes to math. We tend to have faith in them. So I just wanted to point this out to you guys because I want you to understand that ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence, and its specialty, right? Do you remember in like do you remember in like Star Wars in like one of the prequels? I think Obi-Wan Kenobi says that Sith Lords are our specialty, right? Sith Lords are Jedi's specialty. But you know what? Math is not ChatGPT's specialty, okay? And let's see if it can get the reference. Hey, you know, Jedi's say that Sith Lords are their specialty. Are you familiar with where I got that quote? The quote you were referring to is likely from Star Wars franchise, and the Star Wars universe. Jedi are powerful warriors. He's the fourth. Okay. Sith are their specialty. The quote is not from any specific movie. Um, who said? Who said? Sith lords are our specialty. I'm gonna circle this back around to what we're talking about in a minute, guys. Now we know this isn't true, right? It's not from any specific character, but I'm pretty sure it is. Obi Obi Kenobi. Yeah, he says Chancellor Palpatine, Sith lords are our specialty right there. That's the quote right there, right? Are you sure? I apologize for any confusion. You are correct. That quote, Chancellor Palpatine, Sith lords are our specialty, is from Star Wars movie Revenge of the Sith. The quote is spoken by, yeah, so now he's getting it, right? Or it's getting it, right? Great adjustment. Assistant. Sorry, guys, my spelling's off tonight. Now, about math, I'm not sure that math is your. Now I can stop generating. This is a new upgrade that they just added not too long ago. This ability to stop generating, and I'm gonna say I'm not sure math is your specialty. Uh, that is to say that you might not be a Jedi Knight when it comes to business math. No offense. I'm not I'm not perfect either. Anyways, let me so he's gonna say, it's gonna say it understands business math may be more complex than general math and may require more knowledge in business. Therefore, I may not have the same level of expertise. Well, I don't. I mean, you could argue that what we were doing there wasn't business math. Maybe if I would have asked him, maybe if I would have got, maybe if he would have, okay, maybe if it would have got this right, then I could have said, okay, now assume that I'm going to pay my affiliates 75% commission on the front and 85% commissions through the whole funnel. Now, what would the total value of the funnel be for affiliates? And what would the total net income be from the funnel for the vendor? Maybe if I would have went in that direction, we would have creeped into business math a little bit. But I think this is more just kind of basic arithmetic, what we're doing right here. I don't know. You guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong on that. But anyways, let me stop sharing my screen a little bit. I don't think AI will be able to completely replace warm bodies. Yeah, maybe it will eventually be able to replace warm bodies. Maybe. And look, when I say eventually, I don't mean like 100 years from now, guys. Now I know a year from now, I'm talking 12 months from now. This is probably going to be twice as good as it is now, right? I know that AI is on a parabolic curve right now. It's going up, but also we have to be realistic. At some point that curve is going to level out and the advancements aren't going to be happening at quite the same rate that they're happening right now. At some point it's going to level out a little bit. We haven't reached that point yet though. It's still advancing at a rapid clip. But we'll see 12 months from now. Let's see where it's at 12 months from now because right now I think it's really cool. I think it's really good, and I think you can use it for a lot of stuff. Like the other day, I was using it to try to write some creative fiction, And what I noticed is when I was trying to write, um, I'm already sick of it. Sick of hearing about it, at least, right? Yeah, I mean, the other day I was trying to use it to write some kind of creative, you know, something creative, like a story, like a fictional story. And it started out pretty cliche, and I was kind of working with it, almost like I felt kind of like a guide, like I asked it for a couple of for example, I was asking it for a couple of unique names for a wizard or something, and like it gave me like, Gandalf, and I was like, okay, that's not going to work. But see, the AI recognizes that Gandalf is a very well-known name for a wizard, and it knows who that is. However, it doesn't have that social intelligence to make the connection that, like, that's not unique enough of a name. Like, if you use that for the name of a wizard in a story, like, that wouldn't work out because everyone would feel like you're not being creative at all. You're just copying something that's already done. It doesn't understand it. It doesn't have that social intelligence to understand that. So it does have some flaws. Also, some repeat phrasing. Uh, it repeats its phrasings a lot. Now, the other thing I would say, um, is that when it comes to the AI, is it's not like it's not so good at like like it's not going to be good at helping you. Like if you want to do like special reports or something like with this, if you want to create products using this, like you need to bring the creative juice to the table. You know what I mean? This thing can help you with the heavy lifting right now, but like you need to bring the strategy to the table. Like it's not going to help you. You can't say like you couldn't go to ChatGPT and say, "Okay, give me a strategy for driving traffic with Facebook and give me a traffic driving strategy for these other two platforms. And then can you take that and kind of come up with something new that I can try? Give me some new traffic driving strategy that I could try that's like a derivative strategy based on these other things. Could you do something like that? It won't be able to do that. Like it'll say like, oh, I can't do that. It'll actually just tell you, hey, I can't do that. I'm not creative in that way. So you really do have to kind of bring some of the creativity to the table. But it can help you with like the heavy lifting of writing things out, and you can push it to creativity. If it's writing, like another thing I tell you about it is it doesn't really have a style of writing. So in not having a style of writing, it kind of has a style, right? You can't write without a style. And Chat GPT, it kind of has this textbook style. You know what I mean? It's like a textbook style and add repeat phrasings because it has more repeat phrasings than a normal textbook. If you were reading like a history book from like a college history book or something, you wouldn't have so many repeat phrasings, right? It would be very well written and very formally written. ChatGPT writes in a formal style, but it has some repeat phrasings. So like you really have to kind of watch out for that. If you want to use it to do your heavy lifting, you have to correct it on that formal language. You have to make sure it's speaking in a casual tone. You have to watch out for those repeat phrasings. Let me check some of these comments real quick. I love to use it as a jumping off point for my own content. It's great at giving me ideas rather than me sitting at a blank screen trying to get started. You're right, man. It is great for that, for sure. It also brings some things that I had not thought of in creating my content, so it helps to organize my thoughts better for creating full realized content. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great point. Um, but no matter what it spits out, I have to add my own flair and personality to it. You do. You absolutely do. You have to give it some style because it does have a style, guys. It has a formal textbook style and it repeats phrasings too much. And humans are really good at identifying patterns. So if you try to use this and don't change it a lot, don't correct it and make it have a style, don't make it speak in a more casual tone and correct those repeat phrasings, people are going to start to identify the Chat GPT style pretty quickly. And they're going to see that you're having Chat GPT write for you. They're going to see that. Um, so those are a couple things that I would say. Um, I was going to tell you something else about this. I should have wrote some bullet points down. There's no way ChatGPT can sound like the diva. You're right. You're right. There is no way. There is no way. There is no way. Yeah. It's really cool. It can do a lot of interesting things. You know, I think the biggest flaw right now that I see is the math. The math thing was the math thing is pretty. You know, I found it pretty concerning just because I feel like so many people would have faith in it for things like that. Um, One thing now let me give you the opposite side of that. One thing it's really good at is taking like a giant list. Like let's say you had a big list of successful products. Let's say you had a big list of successful products. You could give it a big list of successful product titles, and you could say, "Hey, listen, based on this big list of, can you analyze this big list of successful products and give me some insights and kind of takeaways from this list?" You can do that, and it will give you some takeaways and some some things some insights that it learns from that list. And then you could say, "Can you give me three or four more product titles that would fit right into this list?" Right? And it will give you some pretty cool product titles um, that would fit right into that list. And for that, it's amazing. And this person here says, "I love, love, love the listicles it can create." I agree with you 100%. In fact, you guys, the very title for this video that you're watching right now, this live stream, "Uncovering the Limitations of ChatGPT, a Critical Analysis," ChatGPT came up with that title for you guys. All right. I did not come up with that. I was actually going to call this video "A Note About ChatGPT." And I said, you know what? Let me see if ChatGPT can come up with a better, because I'm the kind of person like I'll just get an idea like on a whim and I'll say, you know what? I want to do a video about this. And I'll just jump on here and start talking about it. And I won't put a lot of thought into the title very much. But this time I went over and got ChatGPT to come up with a whiz bang title for me really quick for you guys. Um, but anyways, the point is, it does have some limitations, guys. I think the biggest one is the math. So if you're trying to use it for math kind of stuff, if you're trying to get it to help you with like numbers with your business and stuff like that, trying to get it to do some projections for you, be very wary of its projections. It's not good at projections. You can give it like percentages and you can give it all the stuff that you need to give it, all the input that it needs to come up with solid projections for you, and it won't come up with good projections. But here's the thing that matters. And I see everyone's talking. I'm gonna pull this stuff up in a second. But here's the thing I want you guys to know about ChatGPT that is the most concerning thing, right? When ChatGPT is wrong, it is confidently wrong. That's the big problem, okay? It is confidently wrong. Like you will get no indication that this thing is wrong. It will act like it's right. It will pretend like it's right. It will think it's right. There won't be any indication that it's not sure about an answer. It won't tell you that it's struggling to come up with 8 numbers that equal 100. It won't tell you these things. You won't know. It will be confidently wrong. So anything that ChatGPT does for you, you have to double check it, right? Because it could absolutely be 100% wrong. Like the numbers are just the tip of the iceberg. Pretty much everything you get it to do for you, you have to double check it. You have to make sure it's right. All right. And if you don't do that, you run the risk of it being completely wrong, and it will be confidently wrong. But the thing is, ChatGPT doesn't really have, it's not ChatGPT's reputation, right? It's your reputation. You're the one that's going to go down for it. You're the one, when you give people bad information, you're the one who they're going to look at. You're the one who's going to pay the price for ChatGPT just being completely wrong, right? So whatever you're having it do, you got to take it like it's a real person, and a real person can be wrong, right? So you got to vet it like a real person. You can't You can't just trust it blindly, right? And I know there's warnings everywhere, all over ChatGPT that says don't trust it blindly. It could be wrong. But I just wanted to show you guys some examples of how it could be wrong. And the math thing was really the biggest eye-opening thing that I could show you about how it can just be obviously wrong and confidently wrong, right? Let's see here. What we got? The one thing I do is pretty cool though is the AI images you can create. Some of them are pretty cool. Yeah, man. Some of those AI images are amazing, right? They're really cool. I agree with you 100%. I've been using some AI images on some products I was creating recently too. I mean, the last one I put out, like that goal getters, I had an AI picture, AI generated image on that. I think I used Stable Diffusion to make that little image for that. And it was really cool, man. I agree. Hey, Gary, as cool as the images are, I haven't figured out the value to me as a digital marketer, so I cannot figure out how to take the cool factor and monetize it. I understand. You know what? It's you know what? Um, Listen, don't feel bad about that, okay? This is this is revolutionary, right? I started this live stream off by saying, guys, in business, we have evolution and we have revolution, okay? And like pretty much every year, you know, we're evolving our businesses. We're evolving things. Our businesses are evolving. Our funnels are evolving. The things we talk about are evolving. You guys see products now. You see a lot of products about Chat GPT and AI and stuff like that. We evolve as business people, and that's evolution, and it's happening all the time with business. But we got some things that are revolutionary. Okay, and they change everybody. Everybody is forced to change when something revolutionary happens. And guys, listen, we're in a revolutionary time right now. This idea that you have about trying to figure out how to take advantage of the cool factor and monetize it, like a lot of people are struggling with that. A lot of people are trying to figure out how can I kind of monetize this? How can I take advantage of this? And I've seen people do several ways. We see right now, we see trainings, right? We see some trainings on how to use this AI stuff. I saw someone selling a text prompt product the other day. The other day, I saw someone selling it was like 1,000 text prompts for AI art, and these are elaborate prompts, and people are entering in these prompts and, you know, these are pretty elaborate prompts. They're like a whole paragraph of just words. And I mean, someone was selling that for like $27 or something for like a pack of 1,000 prompts. And it's like a whole paragraph of little phrases, So it was interesting. And I know there's a website where you can actually get paid for selling text prompts for AI art. So there's a lot of like new things coming out with this AI stuff, but don't feel bad because a lot of people are trying to figure out how they can, capitalize on it. Whenever you have something new like this, it's like the Wild West, man. I mean, because early adopters make the most money. So if you can figure out a way to capitalize on it, then you're going to make more money. Like once it's easy and everybody's doing it and everybody's figured it out, there's less money to be made. It's not that you can't make money, but it's like right now when it's hot, when it's fresh, when it's new, that's when it's the most opportunity is there, right? So don't feel bad, man. Just keep your nose to the grindstone. Keep on looking around. Keep on looking around for new stuff. Keep your head on a swivel and see what you can figure out. Try things. Have an open mind with it. See what you can figure out. Because look, here's the thing. As much as I want to say, hey, I'm just going to keep my nose to the grindstone and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to completely ignore all that stuff over there. I'm just going to keep on doing the real stuff over here that I'm doing. Like, there's no future in that. Like, that's not the future. Like, this stuff is the future, right? I mean, whether you want to, adopt AI or not adopt AI, that's totally cool. That's totally up to you, but it's the future, guys, and the reason why it's the future is because it's faster, it's easier, and it's more efficient. And if you study history, that has always been the future. Whatever is faster, whatever is easier, whatever is more efficient always becomes the future, right? So this is faster, easier, and more efficient, right? So The only thing that's going to keep it from not being the future is expense. If it becomes more expensive, if they take Chat GPT and they say, okay, no one can use this unless you spend $100 a month. This is now a $100 a month program, and every single other program out there that does what ChatGPT can do costs like $100 a month or something. Now there's a barrier to entry. Now it's not going to be the future quite so fast. It'll still be the future, but maybe not quite so fast. It won't take over quite so fast if that happens. Um, but it is what it is, guys. It's the future. You have to figure out how you fit into it and adapt around it. I mean, you don't have to like it, but you can't ignore it. I mean, you gotta be aware of it and figure out how you fit into it because it's the future for all of us. It's not like it's just those people's future and you're dealing with a different future over here. We all got to deal with the same future. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I mean, they're figuring this stuff out everywhere. I work on Medium too. I publish articles on Medium, and it's a huge conversation piece over on Medium. They're trying to figure out how Chat GPT fits in. Should people even be allowed to use Chat GPT on Medium? Like they could prevent them from using Chat GPT on Medium in the first place. How would you even police that? But it's a big subject, and I think it's on the top of everybody's minds. So it's interesting how things are going. We're definitely in an exciting time right now. It's a scary time too. It's a scary time too. I mean, I personally I'm the kind of person I don't like change that much. So I'm not really too hot with it. I like things to stay the way they are. It's like once you get used to something, you want things just to keep on going the way they are. You've already mastered this. You don't want to have to figure something else out now. But ever since I've been here, it's like I'm always having to figure something else out. It's like every year brings new challenges and new things that you kind of got to figure out. And you have to make a decision on whether or not you think those things are going to stick around or they're going to go bye bye. They're just a fad, or what? Is it revolutionary? Is it something you can ignore? You got to make those decisions because there's always new things coming out. With things like Chat GPT, I hope that everyone can see that it's strong, right? I mean, it's powerful. I mean, it's almost like you remember Star Trek? Star Trek: The Next Generation. They could just talk to the computer, and the computer would just do things for them. Like Chat GPT is kind of like an early version of that. You can just tell it to do things for you. It's not always going to get them right, but we can see where it's going. I mean, I think most of us can see where that's going, hopefully. So yeah, let's see. Um, so how do you get a listicle? Do you just type a subject line? Well, let's go back over there. I already got it opened up. We'll go back over there. I have done something like give me the top 10 ways you can use ChatGPT to make money. Yeah, I mean that's totally right. So the question was, how do you make a listicle? So we'll go back over there and we'll check it out, right? So now another thing about ChatGPT, guys, is as soon as if you've been on here for too long, sometimes it'll kick you off and it'll say, "Hey, you used this too much. Come back in a little while," or something like that. So you can't just use it indefinitely. You will get kicked off, and sometimes it errors out, and you got to come back and stuff. And you get this little message over here: due to high demand on our system, previous conversations are temporarily unavailable. I'll say something like, "Hey, assistant, can you give me top 10 um top 10 marketing lessons from Star Wars list?" Yeah, we've been watching all the Star Wars movies around our house lately, you guys. So like I got all these Star Wars analogies. You guys are bearing the brunt of my Star Wars analogies, okay? Yeah. And we see what we got here. We got the top 10 marketing lessons that can be derived from Star Wars listicle, right? A strong brand identity is crucial, just like the Star Wars brand. Having a strong brand identity helps the establish trust and loyalty with consumers. The power of storytelling. Star Wars success is built on the power of storytelling, which helps to create. I should have probably did a top 5, right? This is but this is interesting, right? And this is what this is what old boy was talking about when he said it's really good at listicles. It is. It's really good at listicles, right? It's good at like, some of these lessons are interesting. The power of social media. Star Wars has effectively used social media, and this is kind of like talking about the marketing aspects of Star Wars. Um, what about a star? What about a top 5 marketing lessons that are derived from the story of Star Wars, not necessarily the marketing aspects of the movies, but instead the story, right? The power of a compelling narrative. The Star Wars story is a classic hero's journey, which, so now here we go. This is a little bit closer, right? The importance of clear and consistent branding. Star Wars has a clear and consistent branding message that runs through all of its films, merchandise, and marketing. The value of loyal fan base. Star Wars has passionate. Okay, so we're getting a little bit closer to what we want, right? But I could get a little bit weirder and a little bit more nitpicky, and I can say, what about top 3 marketing lessons taken from characters within Star Wars movies? And then we could even get even further in, right? The power of a strong leader. Characters like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker serves as powerful leaders who inspire and motivate others to follow them. See, and I think for me, you guys, when we talk about lists, I resonate more with this kind of list, like where we talk about the characters from the movies, right? Sometimes I might be interested in talking about the movie strategies for marketing and stuff, but those seem very obvious to me. Like these are very obvious. We're just talking about marketing as it relates to movies, but I want to talk about the story, and the reason why I want to talk about the story is because I think when I put out content and I focus on Star Wars, when people think of Star Wars, they think of the story. That's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about the marketing of Star Wars, although sometimes that might be interesting if you got an interesting story to tell about the marketing. But I think a lot of times people find the story interesting. So I want to take those characters and adapt them to the subject I want to adapt it to. So we see here how I needed to kind of like try a few times to get it to talk about exactly what I wanted it to talk about. It was going this way at first, and then I had to kind of guide it a little bit this way. Then I had to get a little bit more specific and guide it directly where I wanted it to go. So that's a nice little way that you can use it, right? To keep the great info that it drops, I have it generate the results and then drop it into a running Google Doc. That way I can go back later and see what it came up with. It's an easy to copy and paste result into a running doc. Yeah, that's a great idea, man. That's a really good idea. As a former high school biology teacher, I have often compared digital marketing to the scientific method. So I posted that to ChatGPT and loved the results. I love it, man. I love it. That sounds great, man. Scientific method, how digital marketing relates to the scientific method. That's a cool idea, man. Really, really good work. Very creative. And about that, that's an example of what I was talking about when I said ChatGPT can do some of the heavy lifting for you. But if you think about it, in this instance, you came with the creativity. You're the one who made the comparison between digital marketing and the scientific method. So you kind of came with that creative, thought process, and you put it to work on trying to figure out how that makes sense. Um, and ChatGPT says it can't be creative, but I think it can be creative. Sometimes it needs a little help, but it has shown creativity to me before. So, I mean, I think people do underestimate it a little bit. To me, it seems like AI images and listicles are the strong points so far. I guess I'll figure out the rest out eventually. Yeah, I mean, it's got some other strong points that I would say are equally, if not more strong than just listicles. Listen, it's really good at analysis, you guys. Let me show you something else, okay? Let me show you something else that you can use this for. All right, so check this out. Let's pull something up. I'm going to show you guys something else that this can do, okay? This is really interesting. And I'm getting a little long-winded here. I didn't mean to be on here for so long, but that's okay. Well, I'm going to show you guys something else that you can do with the with this. Um, like a list, right? So we go to Warrior Plus, right? And we take this list of these are top revenue generating products of the day. Okay. So we take this list. Let's just get rid of some of this extra stuff. All right. Um, we just want the names. Okay. We just want the names of these products, right? We just want the names. All right. We're going to take the names of these products. All right. And we're going to come over to ChatGPT and we're going to say, hey, if I give you a list of product names, can you give me some insights uh, on that list? And it says, sure. All right. So let's go ahead and so it's asking if it can give me the mark. It would help to know the category of products or the industry they belong to. Okay. I'm not going to give it that. I'm just going to say, here is the list. You tell me what industry you think it is and some insights based on the product names of this list. Now it might say I can't guess or something like that, but we'll see what it says. Based on the product names on your list, it seems that the products are related to online marketing and technology industry. Local Lead Sniper suggests the product that helps business generate leads from their local area. Vidai is not a clear name, but it could relate to video marketing and AI technology. Yeah, that's about right, guys? Cloud Z Pro, SSD cloud driver technology seems to be related to cloud-based storage and data. High ticket AI relates to this. It's kind of it's doing a pretty good job. Chat GTP Empire is a product that related to my technology. So this is interesting because it is identifying that this product is about it. It's identifying itself in this product. It's about my technology and its application in the field of chatbots and natural language processing. So that's pretty good. Okay, that's great. But can you give me 4 or 5 common factors and traits of these products? Like if you're trying to do research and you're trying to come up with an idea for a product, right? You're trying to come up with an idea for a product. You know what market you're going to sell in. Sometimes you can find hidden traits that you might not have thought of by using something like ChatGPT. And we see here common factors. Many of the products on your list mention AI technology, suggesting that they may use AI in some way to improve their performance capabilities. Online marketing technology. From the product names, it appears that the products are related to online marketing and technology. Lead generation and data. Several of the products seem to focus on lead generation, data, and target. So, like, you can start to get a clear idea of what works on Warrior Plus, what kinds of products are selling right now on Warrior Plus with this kind of thing. So then I could take it a step further and say, okay, can you give me some product titles that would fit right into a list like this, right? Sure, here are some product titles that'll fit into a list like the one you provided. AI-powered lead generation software, cloud-based email marketing automation platform. Okay, so we got some really bland titles here, right? Assistant. These are great, but they are too anal. You make them a little more Polarizing. I like to tell it it's doing a good job. I know it's not supposed to matter, but I do it anyway. Sure, here are some product titles that could be more polarizing to fit into a list like the one you provided. The ultimate AI lead generation system, cloud-based email marketing automation platform for the elite. Chatbot builder, as you can see, these are great. I want you to be even more polarizing. Let's really get the people going. uh, AI powered dominate your market. Cloud based, leave your competition in the dust. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? Now we're getting somewhere. And now we're getting to this, skyrocket your rankings. The future of marketing is here, right? Now this is the kind of confidence you need to sell in a market like Warrior Plus, right? So we had to work with it a little bit, but we guided it to the place we needed it to be. Now, this can be very helpful if you put in like 30 or 40 product titles and you analyze a market. You can analyze a market for common traits and just commonalities with the products, and you can devise a path on where to go. And the reason it matters is because it's a little bit like having a crystal ball, right? So let me see. Let's see. To keep the yep, we got that. We got that. We got that. We got that. Great, great, great. Great. I have to work harder to teach it about the builder all diva. Yeah, there you go. Teach it about the builder all diva. Warrior Plus example is pretty impressive. I think you put it in panic mode. You think I did? I don't know. Yeah, listen, guys. We're just scratching the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, listen, guys, this is revolutionary. Like, we're in a revolution right now, and the whole industry is going to be changing, guys. All right, so like, don't feel bad if you're a little bit worried, or if you're a little bit scared, or like if you're not quite sure how to use it, how to make it work. Don't feel bad, because a lot of people are trying to figure that stuff out right now. But what I would suggest is not be scared. Just accept that this is how it's going to go. This is part of the future, and try to start looking for ways you can fit into it. And that's what I suggest. See what kinds of things that you can get it to do. I find it's really good with analyzing patterns. Okay, it's good, like when you enter in lists of things, it's really good at analyzing that and finding commonalities. This is very, very useful. Like, you can go to popular websites, uh popular blogs. You can enter in whole lists of blog titles. You could enter in a whole list of subject lines, successful email subject lines, and say, hey, can you give me some commonalities of the subject lines on this list? Can you give me some examples of things that would fit right into this list? And it can do that for you. Now we could take this further. You can take this. It can find patterns in stock market trends. It's good at finding patterns, and it's good at finding commonalities. These are its strong suits right now. But I did want to qualify that with what we started out with. It has some weak points, right? It's confidently wrong. That's its biggest problem. When it's wrong, you'll have no indication that it's wrong. Okay. So it's important that you don't just trust it. You have to fact check. If you're using it for data and for information, if you're using it for stuff that you're not sure of, don't let the AI be the smartest person in the conversation. Okay, that's what I'm saying to you. Don't don't make the assumption that when you're talking to ChatGPT, it's the smartest person in the conversation, because there's a very good chance it might not be smart as you are with the conversation that you're having. And it's better to use ChatGPT on things where you're the smartest person in the conversation, you know? it's good at identifying patterns. The thing is, we could all enter in a list of 100 product titles and we could go through the trouble of finding those commonalities ourselves, but ChatGPT can probably do it faster, right? And then we can look at those lists of commonalities and we can give it the eyeball test and we can say, yeah, you're right. I see that I can look at this list and just kind of skim it and I can see what you're saying is right. This is a common trait among these products. This is a common trait among um, what's happening, right? And we can see that, but don't use it for things where you can't give it the eyeball test because you're expecting it to be smarter than you. Don't use it for that kind of stuff yet because it's going to bite you in the butt, as I showed you in the beginning with the math. Okay. um, I've also used ChatGPT to help come up with product names. I tell it what the product can do, and it comes up with some interesting names. Yeah, absolutely. I think it can come up with some great product names, especially if you say, like, if it comes up with a name and you're like, yeah, you know what, that's too bland. All right, I need it to be a little bit more. Let's put a little more pop into it. If you push it a little bit, you can come up with some really interesting ones, for sure. I agree with you 100%. This would have been a great resource when I was writing for my dissertation to get my doctorate. Yeah, I think there's plenty of people out there right now writing dissertations to get their doctorates that are probably using ChatGPT as we speak. Hate to say that, but it's probably true. So, anyways, it is what it is. Hey, listen, guys. It is Sunday evening, and I hope you guys are doing amazing. I hope your weekend has been awesome. Hope you guys are doing great. Um, I need to come up with another free show, man. I should put some more. I like doing shows that are just free. You guys will have to let me know if you'd like to see me do a free show. We can talk about stuff like Chat GPT. We can talk about stuff that I got going on, whatever. But it's always I love having an excuse just to get on here and talk to you guys. It's fun. So anyways, that's all I got. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I'll catch you guys on the flip flop. Peace, everybody.